Okay, thank you everyone again. Thank you, thank you everyone. Thank you, welcome everyone again. Okay, again we continue kind of discussing on the teachings on the four causes that will take the rebirth in the Pure Land Buddha Amitabha. That's what we are discussing. That, and so we will continue to talk on that. And yesterday we discussed it briefly, or we discussed it a little bit about the among the four causes. The first one, what the great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in the teaching of the Amitabha Sutra, said, whoever think of this Buddha, of about the Buddha again and again, think of that Buddha, Buddha Amitabha again and again. So that, and they also can that Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha, and as well as the Buddha Amitabha. So we went yesterday briefly about that. Generally, Buddha Amitabha is not just only Buddha of the when we passed away. Buddha Amitabha is Buddha of also this life, and which is known as Buddha Amitayum. We often heard in the Vajrayana teaching there's so many empowerments. The Amitayu empowerment for the longevity and the prosperities. So this Buddha Amitabha and the Buddha Amitayu are the same. There's no difference in the teaching, say the same. And why is they called, as I said yesterday, when this Buddha Amitabha, the lifespans of the Buddha Amitabha is countless. And there's no really measurements. Countless, the Buddha Shakyamuni said. Therefore, it is known as Buddha Amitayu. Lifespans. According to the teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni, when Buddha Amitabha reached enlightenment, when? It's 10 eons ago. 10 eons. For us, it's 10 eons. But for the Pure Land or Amitabha's Pure Land, is 10 days. 10 days. 1 day in the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitayu is 1 eons in our world where we are, according to the teaching of the Buddha. So according to the standard of the Buddha Amitabha's Pure Land or Amitayu's Pure Land is 10 days ago. The Buddha got enlightenment and is living Buddha right now. So therefore, this Buddha Amitabha is the Buddha of now, Buddha of the future, and Buddha to purify all our obscurations, obstacles, disease, sicknesses, hindrance, and well-being, and peace, and fulfillment. All this is really the Buddha Amitabha and Amitayu. So that's what we should think or remember that. And with this thought, again, I talk a little bit really about this prayer. The first we discussed yesterday, this one, the short one. In English is translated, the blessed one, thus gone, subjubity, perfectly, fully enlightened, protector Amitabha. That's the English translation, of course, you see. In it, in Tibet, what called? Chom din de te yin shekwa da chomba yin takpar zokwe sangje gombo upata mepa. So that's the Tibetan word. And in a Tibetan word, the chom din de is translated into English, blessed one. So I believe this is quite well known, translators translated Bhagwan into blessed one. But in Tibetan, Chom Din De is 3 words, you see. Chom Din De, 3 words. What it shows? It shows the Buddha is generally is not just only the Buddha Amitabha's name, but it's a name to all the Buddhas. This can be all Buddhas. Buddha Shakyamuni is the Bhagavan too. But what this Chomdi De tells 2 meanings. I say briefly. Chom means one who completely purified all the obscurations, negativity, and the defilements. if I roughly translated this English, Chom means one who destroyed, one uprooted. Uprooted. What destroys? 2 obscurations and 4 demons that completely eliminated or destroyed, uprooted. Chom. So Chom means what? It shows perfectly purification, perfectly freed from all the negativities and obscurations, ego clings. That's really the Chom is. Chom. D means what? Possesses. Possess. What is possess? When you remove all the obscurations and negativities and 4 demons, what actualizes it? It's wisdom and kayas. Who had, that means the perfect attainment. It shows perfect attainment. Buddha is Amitabha or the Buddha, any Buddha is a perfect attainment, achievement. There's nothing more to achieve, more to go. It's all achieved. They means what in Tibet? Beyond. Beyond the samsara and the nirvana, or beyond the dualities. Totally beyond the dualities. So that is the meaning of Chomdin De, which translated into English, blessed one. So you think it has the meaning, that blessed one has that meaning or not, but it is well-known translated, well-known translators translated, and I think that's what we are using, blessed one. Blessed one. And then, next one is what? Thus gone. Thus referred to the absolute true nature. So, but gone means reached enlightenment. So, exactly reach enlightenment where the nature is. When Buddha reached enlightenment, it's not something that strange things achieved and become the Buddha. When we become the Buddha, we're going to regain our treasure and the nature what we inherited. It's a basic nature, basic goodness that we regain. Present time, we are not thus gone, we ourselves. Because of the negativities, obscurations that we created. It's blocking to regain. So we're not thus gone, but Buddha is thus gone. Thus referring the nature, exactly where things are. Gain now free from that. So that is. And then because of that, and in Tibet, and what's called this subjugativity. Again, subjugativity is Dachomba. Is it all those all the great bodhisattvas, arhatas, and those are what we normally will use, arhatas. And the Buddhas are all known as arhatas. In Tibet, is subjugativity. In Tibet, what means? Da means enemy. And Chom means again destroyed. So one who destroyed the enemy. What that means? Enemy is not just like opponent with duality beliefs or someone disturbing our ego clinging, our like self-centered mind or our territory. That is not. This case, the enemy is the ego clinging and grasping in duality. That is the ego clinging. That is all the Buddha teaching mentioned. This ego is the mostly enemy for us. All the time. It's just all the time making obstacles. Not just one time, 2 times, or short time, 3 times, or few years. It's ongoing. The ego and the self-important mind and the clinging is really disturbing our peace and happiness. It's for long. That which is destroyed. Buddha. So this Buddha Amitabha, one who is destroyed, or Buddha Amitabha, all the egos and all the obscurations. Therefore, then is perfectly fully enlightened. Perfectly. So that's just perfect. It's a perfect state. Because why we are not perfect? Our ego clinging, our obscurations, duality is making the obstacle, imperfections. Even it's trying to do, but it undermines. Undermined from the beginning, undermined the we are process, it undermined mining all the time. That is what the ego is, all of grasping and clinging. But Buddha is totally freed from that. So then, fully enlightened. So this is all, in a way, synonym of the Buddha's title, but to any Buddha, this is used, but this time is, of course, Buddha Amitabha or the Buddha Amitabha. And then protector, the protector for all the living beings, without any partialities, without any discriminations. That is the Buddha. So this is our object of refuge, our destinations, and this is our also source of inspiration. We like to become like this. Because we all inherited the same nature as Buddha Amitabha or the Amitabha or the Buddha Shakyamuni. And we walk for our own nature according to where the nature is. Truly we have the 100% right to achieve this our right of the nature, what we have. So that is, and so that, up to that is the remembering, thinking of the Buddha Amitabhas, or as gracious teacher Buddha said, remembering, thinking of the Buddha again and again. And as we discussed yesterday a little bit, of course, I'm sure you know that, and also the beauty and the wonders of the Pure Land of the Buddha Amitabha. And Amitabha, kind of thinking that, and that is our destinations. That is our place. We're going to go to that places and going to fulfill all our wishes and inspiration of the Bodhicitta. Fulfill all that. And that's it. So, what the great master Raga Akse said in his teachings, definitely we can come back to this world, this earth, again and again. But there's so many challenges, birth, death, and getting old, sicknesses, that goes on and on, and that kind of they eat it up all our times, because trying to keep up that to kind of balance that, and therefore I think it's just perfect to be in a Pure Land of Amitabha, where there's everything is beautiful, comfortable, and there's no disturbance of the emotions, so I can fulfill this practice of Bodhicitta so easily there, and then I can benefit it and help it to all the beings of 6 realms. That's what the great master Raga Akse said. So going to the Pure Land with the Amitabha is a long goal to fulfillment and achievement of our Bodhicitta activities. So that is according to the teaching. So with this, then what in the teaching said, again, as we discussed yesterday, and or not yesterday, we discussed it, but in Buddha teaching said 4 causes. So first is thinking of the Buddha in the Pure Land again and again, thinking that when time comes, I like to be departed to that places. Who's going to depart? Our consciousness, our mind. It's not just a way of walking. Again, great master Raga Akse said, it's not something that you have to walk to there. You have to make arrangement to there, or go and buy a horse, or ancient horse. Or it's not something that you fly with wings. It's the moment you think of the Pure Land of Amitabha when the time comes. That moment, you will be in that Pure Land of your consciousness. When you are there in Pure Land of Amitabha, where you will be middle of the beautiful lotus, in the teaching said. Beautiful lotus. And miraculously you appeared from the lotus as youthful. So there is no process of the conceptions, and that goes. Is instantly birth from lotus, but youthful status. Therefore, is again, if we keep the mind, if we set mind that our goal, according to teaching, is really so fast. Because also Buddha Amitabha or the Buddha Amitabha himself made aspiration. Whoever think of me and wanting to come to my Pure Land, they should come. There should be come without any hindrance and obstacles. If such commitment not fulfilled, I'm not going to get enlightened. I'm not getting enlightened. So he made that commitment and wishes. And as he did that, as he wished, and it fulfilled. Therefore, it's because of our intention and the commitment of the Buddha Amitabha combined together, and then we be in that places, according to the teaching. So that is what. And now with this thought, and then second cause, or second conditions, cause, is to get rebirth in the Pure Land of Amitabha, and to fulfill our wishes of the Bodhisattva is accumulating the merit. Lot of accumulating the merit in the teaching said lot of the virtuous activity, perform lot of virtuous activities. Virtuous activities, what? Is virtue. What is virtuous actually? Virtue is not outside, nor non-virtue is not outside. It's all depend on our intention, as we discussed other day. The virtues, this mind is the key. Mind is the cause. Mind is the instrumental, wherever we'd like to direct, whether virtues or non-virtues. So, virtuous activity comes from the virtuous mind. Virtuous mind. What is a virtuous mind? Again, it's simple, not any mysteries, or it is Buddhist dogmas. It's loving kindness, compassion, wisdom, joy, and appreciation. Those sizzling qualities of the all symbolize Bodhisattva thought in the heart and the mind, and do whatever activities by verbally, physically. That is virtues. So perform the virtuous activity. These virtuous activities, again, I talk really this in the all the virtuous activities in the Buddha's teaching, generally, both Sutta Mahayana teaching and Vajrayana Mahayana teaching, there is 7 tools to accumulate the merit that we all know. We all heard so many times, and you all know. And what are those 7? First is postrations. Second is offerings. And the third is confessions. And the fourth is rejoice, or the joy. Rejoice. And fifth is requesting, training the will of Dharma. And sixth is requesting to be long lives. And the seventh is dedicate the merits. So those are known as, in a Tibetan teaching, word said, Sopsa Yena Dumpa. 7 tools were accumulating the merits. So all accumulation in virtuous activities can be combined in these 7. And now, of course, you all know this. But again, I will go a little bit each of those got the point, just as remindings. First is postrations. Postration is what, actually? Postration is antidote of the arrogance. Antidote of arrogance. And postration also, that means seeing the good quality of others, or some degree respect to the others, not become kind of ego as like kind of strong, solid, kind of iron, like arrogance. But respect and appreciation, it shows also what called the good quality of ours, what called humiliations. Or humble. Be humble. Humble in a symbol didn't mean it's going to devalue, going to lose our qualities. Actually, it was going to glorify our qualities. Drawn to the earth, humble, simple, respect to the others. This tradition of the respecting is all systems of the country has. Every country has respect and appreciations. Even though maybe they don't name the post station, but post station means respect, appreciation. Appreciation. We all have that. East has that, and the West has that. South has those qualities. Everyone's, and they slightly different way those performed, how they do greetings. And some does for respect and appreciation, feel comfortable. Touch to head. Some to touch to the cheek to cheeks or right to left with the sound of kiss, I think. And embracing that. That is also respect and appreciations. Appreciation, feel kind of warmness. And then some try kisses to the ground. And then in a different tradition has a different kind of way to respect the Christianity, touching to the different part of the bodies as a gesture of the crosses. That means I'm comfortable, I'm happy, I honor, I respect. In the Tibetan Buddhism, its tradition started from India. We do folded hand as an Indian. Folded hand and then bow down on the ground. And then some traditions even touching to the feet of the peoples. I mean, they have different just ways. All is what symbolize feel comfortable, warmness, respect, and appreciation and honor. It is our ego, and kind of like that is low, and arrogance is low. See something, good things. So therefore, it is very powerful way to do the prostrations. And that is with this thought, and then do the prostrations. And the Buddha's teaching, prostration, and those prostrations which known as then prostration with meditation levels, and prostrations with just regular ways, and meditations of then absolute levels, prostrations. Those are all teachings said. I'm sure you all know that. I'm not going to go all those details. But however, and when we do prostration, for example, meditative levels, again, it's same with respect and appreciation, but we are kind of like multiplied ourselves. So many emanations. Ourselves, meditative level, is like visualization, even though it's not exactly visualization, it's like more kind of imaginations. Multiplied so many times, like countless. And then we are making prostration to the Amitabha. We'll see the quality and the goodness and all that, we do the prostrations. So this is known as antidote of the arrogance. The next one is, and is the offering. Offering is the antidote of the misery and attachments. Offering is also generosity. Justice. What do you make offerings? Offering our own belongings, what we own, and as well as mentally and in imagination or the samadhi, meditation powers. Those are you make offerings. Without grasping and clinging to the Buddha Amitabha and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, every enlightenment as mandala offerings, or all like offering. It is antidote of the attachment and the miseries. mind. And then particularly multiplying meditation level, meditative level is then in the Vajrayana teaching often said. Those are all articles are multiplied by the mantra, meditation, and the mudras. Through that, it multiplied, and then all become divine qualities or the wisdom qualities, and making the offering to all living beings. And that also in the teaching said, actually when you make the offering, there is three purity states, three purities. What are those three purity states? The purity of the object, purity of intention, purity of the articles. What means those? Purity of the object means the purity of the object, in this case, Buddha Amitabha, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, such as Avalokiteshvara, Cheneze, Gurupema Sambhavatara, those all feel the right in front of our space. They are looking to us with the eye of love and compassion as a living Buddha, like rainbow Buddha, right there. And so that is our object of purity objects, object of our offerings, where you're going to offer. It's perfect. We're not just giving this someone kind of like with strange ways to someone, but purity, full of love and compassion, wisdoms. So that is purity of objects. Then purity of the article means it is also not just something stolen or robbed by, or kind of quietly, sneakily making gathering something. It has no those any negative qualities. It's pure. And those pure things are generally in the teaching said what? Our own belongings, such as our body, our wealth, our meritory activities, plus all this universe and world, everything see as our luxury qualities. And that is which we own, or maybe we don't own, but mentally gathering all the beauty and everything, the universe and everything, and then we make that offerings. So that is purity articles. And then third one is pure intentions. We're making these offerings not just with the kind of like we like to gain some power or some degree of the kind of authorities. Our intention is purely based upon the bodhicitta. Like to reach enlightenment, like to benefit of all the sentient beings, and I like to be reborn in the pure land of Amitabha, in order to fulfill our wish and the goal of the bodhicitta, as I said many times earlier, and you know. So intention is pure heart, and pure object of veneration, pure object of offering articles, and pure intentions. With that, make offering. Then it is the great meritory activities, big meritory activities. Next one is something to Hyakpa, and the purifications. In front of again in presence of the Buddha Amitabha and all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, enlightened beings, we purify all our negativities from the beginner's times that we don't know, or we remember, or maybe we don't remember. Everything we are purifying, we cleansing. How we purify? With the 4 powers that we learned in the Mundo practices, with the 4 powers. But this Mundo practice, the power of the object is the Buddha Vajrasattva. This time is Amitabha and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then same thing, 4 powers. Power of the object, power of the acknowledgement of our misdeed and wrong deeds, and the power of the restoring, power of the applying the antidotes. Those 4, and of course you all know, and purifying all our obscurations. And this purification or compassion practice is, in the teaching said, is antidote of anger. Is we purifying that. And so it is. So that is the 3rd accumulation merit practices. And the 4th one is, this year, rejoice. Rejoice or the joy is the antidote of the jealous. Jealous. This time we rejoice. All the good activities, good deeds of anyone is doing in the world, those noble ones are doing good activity or deed. And all the ordinary beings are doing good activity to benefit other beings, bring the peace and harmony to the world. Really, we join our intention with their good deeds and thankful, grateful, all those beautiful activities. We joined our intention to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, their activities, where they develop the bodhicitta, and where they continually check the journey of all those paths in the Burmese. And we thank for all these Buddhas are enlightened. Now they're continually helping, benefit for all sentient beings. How wonderful, how beautiful. I like to be like that. Wishing that in the heart, really praying that this is called rejoice, or the antidote of the jealousness. And next one is and recourse and turning the wheel of Dharma. This is the antidote of the ignorance, recourse and teachings. In the teaching said generally there is many Buddhas, great enlightened beings who reach enlightenment in a different universe, not yet maybe turning the wheel of Dharma. Or there is so many great masters, Vedaras, male and female, who have the highest realization, yet they are not, some different reasons, they are not turning the wheel of Dharma or teaching. Wheel of Dharma means word of wisdom and compassion. Word of wisdom, compassion. If they turn, they expound that, it will activate our love and compassion and bring the peace and harmony, reduce all negativities. This is powerful means to observe that heart. So we recourse to turning wheel of Dharma. What in the teaching said, what we joined here, according to the readiness of the individual, please turn the wheel of Dharma. According to readiness, not forceful, not imposing, but readiness of the individual there, what they can connect it. What the teachings are, then those all 9 yana teachings, outer 3 teachings, inner tantra teachings, and the outer tantra teaching, inner tantra teaching, all those teachings really require to turn wheel of Dharma according to their readiness of the individuals. So that is the 5th, I think, accumulation practices. And next one is praying long life prayers, or not returning to the nirvana status. This korwa samsang chu sorwa samsang chu jis yeram korwa sorwande wade this korwande, it is recourse to stay long life. It is the antidote of the wrong ideas. Wrong ideas, is it? And Lokta Nyempo in Tibet they say that, but I'm translating as wrong ideas. So you recourse those great beings who are kind of like going to enter, even though they have the perfect capability to prolong their lives and all that, but they are some degree, somehow they're going to enter the Mahaparinirvana and that, so they recourse them. You recourse wherever that is. This, and ask for eons, and without entering the Mahaparinirvana to benefit all living beings. And this is also known as longevity prayers. Whoever we do pray for long life and good wishes to the others, that will prolong our lives. Our life, our energy is not something that we're going to lose. Actually, it will really prolong our life, our energy, our prosperities. So therefore, do the prayer. This. And last one is dedication. Dedication is the antidote of doubt and hesitations. And dedicate the merits. And that is then all the good deeds, whatever we did in the kind of like on the gross levels, or on kind of very subtle levels, and in the Tibet, in the not Tibet, in the teaching said that and meritorious activity with the some degree, I'm translating like this: meritorious activity with the thought or grasping, meritorious activity without grasping anything, we accumulate the merit, and we really going to share that. And that energy to have benefit to all the sentient beings and to be born ourselves, and as well as all the beings to the Pure Land of Amitabha. Wishing that and dedicate the merit. This is known as then dedication prayers. So those all are known as 7 tools that accumulate in the merits. These also combine all the 6 paramata practices too. Each of those, if we have the kind of give the time and the energy, and that is generosity. And then each of those we do with a very clear and pure mind and a nice way, kind of neat and clean way, and that is morality. And then we have also like some more patient and kind of like courage and commitment to perform all those practices with the good that is patient paramatas. Then we put the effort, joyful effort for these virtuous practices. That's the joyful effort. Each of those we concentrate in exactly as the meaning, maintain our mind, that is. Then concentration paramatas. And each of those we see clearly, not kind of mixed up, really trying to do precisely on the conception level, trying to do those are the then wisdom paramatas of the what's called the wisdom paramatas. When we do these 7 practices without any grasping, clinging, subject and object and actions, that is then wisdom paramata, or what's called wisdom merits. So it is a compilation all 2 accumulations, accumulation merit and wisdom merit. Therefore, in the teaching said, it's so powerful, so special. These are really we think that. And with that, together all the virtuous activities, avoiding 10 non-virtues that you all know. You all know 10 non-virtues. Activating the 10 virtues of the opposite of the 10 non-virtues. Those 10, you all know, I just grouped those. And those are the virtuous activity 3 by the body, and 4 by the speech, and 3 by the mind, all together 10 non-virtues. When you give up that, not performing those activities, plus you do opposite of those 10 non-virtuous activity, then it becomes the positives, the virtues, perfect virtues. And do that with the bodhicitta, thinking of all the sentient beings, really wishing, may I do that, benefit for all living beings, may they get enlightenment by this. May I never do any non-virtuous activities forever by the blessings of the Buddha Amitabha and Ngurupema Sambhava Chinese, Avalokishora Tara, and all that. All these Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, their blessings, really feel that from heart and do those prayers. And that is known as then all virtuous activities. And all these activities without grasping, clinging, kind of holding onto that, I did get it, things and all these things. Without that, and just blended in the absolute state of true nature as a Dzogchen meditation, that is a wisdom merit. That. And then that's called, in the teaching always, union of the 2 merits. Accumulation merit, wisdom merit. That's perfect, beautiful. And that is the cause to be reached, or cause and condition to reborn in the Pure Land of Amitabhas. So among those 4 causes. Now what I did. The first one, and object, the Buddha Amitabha and the Pure Land briefly. And now today we discuss briefly again. I mean, it's not something that I'm talking new things you don't know. I'm in a way reminding to all of us to in some degree, hopefully, refreshing our knowledges of that, those accumulation merit practices. And that is what. And the third one is what great teacher Buddha Shakyamuni said in the teaching, bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, that is the third. But again, of course, all that is within the bodhicitta frames. Everything. That is really what is bodhicitta and refuges. What is bodhicitta? It's compassion, loving kindness thought for all living beings. From our core of our heart. That is bodhicitta. And then, what is this bodhicitta? And what is this absolute bodhicitta? Absolute bodhicitta is not grasping, clinging, any of those things. Even is compassion, even loving kindness, so special and powerful, yet no grasping, clinging. That is wisdom merit. That is what's called absolute relative true bodhicitta and absolute truth bodhicitta. So this bodhicitta, two bodhicittas. And now relative true bodhicitta, of course, again, we heard so many times, we're trying to do, all of us trying to do practice. Those bodhicittas are started with the loving kindness, compassion, and good heart, without any self-centered mind. That heart, that qualities. We need to come to the activity and then to exercise that, to activate that. Again, gracious teacher Buddha Shakyamuni taught in the teaching, poor boundless, that we all know. We all heard so many times. Even though maybe we really don't know too much, but we heard. It fills our, it sinks our heart. It softens our heart. Really, it is. Which is poor boundless. Boundless loving kindness. Boundless compassion. Boundless rejoice, or the joy. Boundless equanimities. Those are the four boundless. Among these four boundless, in the many teachings said that the boundless equanimity is in a way foundation. Foundation of the boundless loving kindness, boundless of compassion, boundless of joy. Why is it be like foundation? Because when you have that equanimity attitude, we are not so grasping, clinging onto that. It is become so blended in, gentle, peaceful, mellow. It's not become emotional. Love and compassion, joy and appreciation, generally, of course, is good always. But according in the bodhicitta, love and compassion, joy should not be emotional. Emotional love and compassion and joy is all sentient being has some degree. All we human beings have some degree. Emotion, which is good. Love and compassion and joy always good. But to be as like bodhicitta, love and compassion and joy, no, trying to not be emotions, not too tight. It's pervasive. Therefore, it's called boundless. Boundless love to all the beings. And what in the equanimity says, may I have the great equanimity realization, those who are close to me or those who are far distant to me. So this is what the love is. All pervasive loving kindness to every living being. Those we know, those we don't know. To all beings. and compassion is the same. And as well as joy is the same. And that, and when it's settling that quality in a heart and mind, and then perform the 6 paramata activity or perform the 7 tools that accumulate the merits. Merits. That is then one of the cause or third cause to be born in the Pure Land, Amitabha. Amitabha, and it is a great tool to purify our obscurations, negativities, and regain our nature. We are revealing our nature, our Buddha nature. And we are activating, we are advancing. Really, we are advancing to the path. And we are embracing everything as like path when we have these realizations. And so those are known as the third cause or third conditions, or conditions to be born in the pure land of Amitabhas. Again, in the Buddha teaching said, whoever think of me and do the good activities and also have the bodhi, the good heart, and making the aspirations to the pure land, Amitabha, they will born, take the birth in the pure land. That's what the really Buddha Amitabha said, and Buddha Shakyamuni repeated that. So that is my briefly talk about today. This fourth, we went now briefly about the third, first, second, and third. We went, and again, I'm so thankful and grateful to all of you and Tachidelis, and we are making nice groundwork to be born in the pure land of Amitabha. And so, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Okay. Thank you. Again, we do short dedication. That completes our first session, and then second session, same thing as we did yesterday. We do again our evening practice of the Pema Samye monastery we used to. Please, if you have time, join with us, and then we dedicate the merit. Okay. Thank you, everyone. By this merit, may all
enemy wrongdoing
from the stormy waves of the birth, origin, and sickness and death, from the ocean of the samsara, may I free all beings.